What's up, Fantasy A Team Nation? I'm your host, Josh Jenkins, and tonight's video, we are going to unveil our Week 5 top tight end matchups. But before I start the show, I'd like to welcome my good friend and co-host, Zach Roberts, aka the Fantasy Guru, back to the show. Welcome back, Zach.
Hey, what's up, Josh? Welcome. Thanks for having me back, man. I appreciate it. Welcome back, 18 Fantasy Nation. We appreciate you guys. We're growing, man, with all the love you guys are putting out on these videos. Man, we can't believe how many views we have. We just want to help you guys win, man. We haven't had as much received on these tight end videos, so we're going to try and see if we can't bulk them up a little bit. So with that said, man, we think we got a pretty good list for you. We got some good tight ends. Right off the bat, you got to start Kelsey, Waller, Hockenson, and even Andrews and Kittle. I know Kittle's questionable, but if he's good to go on Sunday, you start him. He's one of those guys. I know Gronk's going to be out for a while with his injuries, but same thing with him. He's always a start if he's good to go. We started our videos off in week 1 with these same statements, and they stay true the whole year. These guys are studs. That's why we drafted them, or why you drafted them. And that's why we're going to play them every week unless they're injured or on a bye week. So that's what these top matchups are for and the waivers for. So when you have one of those issues pop up, if you have one of these top guys, we've got the guys for you to plug in. So with that said, let's get to the list.
All right. Sounds good with me.
All right. So I like, I picked him up last week off the waiver wire. Dalton Schultz, he's going against the Giants, 28th defense. He was 6 for 8, 58 yards and a touchdown. I think there's going to be more yards to be had in this game playing against the Giants and Daniel Jones' arm. So with that said, I think he could push his yards up close to 75 or 100, possibly even get two touchdowns. He's one of Dak's favorite targets, so he's definitely somebody that you could play this week if you looking for a good matchup and have a chance to pick him up off the waiver wire, because he is one of our waiver wire guys. So next, why don't you go with your guy next, number 2?
All right, my guy, I think I'm gonna throw this guy out. CJ Uzomara from the Cincinnati Bengals. Last week, he faced the Jacksonville Jaguars. He had 5 receptions, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. This week, he's going up against Green Bay, 27th defense. He's just another target that Joe Burrow's got out there on that offense among the many that he has.
Yeah, they're going to have T. Higgins back this week. But, dude, last week, this kid that you just mentioned, I don't know how to say his name properly. I'm going to butcher it. Uzomwa. But anyways, that guy's a stud. I watched him on the film. I watched the tape. He reminds me of like a Waller and Kelsey mix. He can line up as a wide receiver. He's super fast, as big as he is. And he's definitely a red zone threat. And now it's like the gig is up. Everybody knows now. So with that said, man, I think they're going to utilize him more, because with as many targets they have, they're going to be double teaming. They got to worry about Jamar Chase. They got to worry about Higgins. So with these other guys, man, leaves him kind of wide open, like what happened last week. And you look and saw what he did with his receptions, man. He took those 5 receptions, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns. So I look for that kid to have similar numbers for the rest of the year if they're smart there. And Joe Burrow last year showed he had a good IQ. He looked his reads through and then would hit the open guy until he got hurt. So they can keep him upright. I believe that he's got his confidence back. And like you were saying, there's so many targets there. And if they double team anybody, it's going to leave him open. He's kind of a mismatch, like I was saying, with Kelsey and Waller. So I feel bad for defensive coordinators that got a plan for him.
Yeah, I totally agree.
All right, so after him, I believe I like Dawson Knox. We keep talking about this guy. He's on the waiver wire video. He just solidly performs every week. He doesn't have spectacular numbers, like he isn't getting 100 yards or whatever, but he had 5 for 8, 37 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So he's going against the Chiefs this week. They're the ranked 29th defense versus the tight end. We seem to give it up over the middle. We're kind of weak at linebacker right now. So with that said, I think he has another solid game. This is going to be a heck of a game versus Kansas City. It's going to be a lot of yards in this game, so a lot of targets to be had, and I believe he'll get his. He's been getting them solidly now for the last 3 or 4 weeks. And so I look for his yards to go upwards over to 50 at least, if not more, and probably at least a touchdown or two. So hope not too many versus my Chiefs. I hope my Chiefs can win. We definitely do not need another loss. We need to start a winning streak. So I really do love this matchup, as we have the last 2 matchups that we had said. I really love the Schultz and the Uzomah matchups. So definitely start these guys if you have them. What do you think, bud?
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this football game is going to be a shootout. I look for, if Allen gets in a bind, I believe you're going to see Knox sit down in the slot right there, and Allen can just be able to dump a pass off to him when he needs to.
Chiefs have a problem playing man-to-man for very long. We have our pass rush is very limited. If you go look at the stats, that's why it's so bad. So we're limited in our pass rush right now. With that said, we do have a decent safety. So what you're going to do as a defensive coordinator, like I said, the linebacker position, you bring a stud like Dawson in, and he just can read the defense right off. They check the play they check the defense. He already knows his number's called, just kind of like what we do here at Kansas City with Kelsey. And then he just goes to the open spot because we have to play some zone. And it seems like we're playing a lot of zone in the middle of our defense, which is allowing, that's why we're giving up, 29th versus the tight ends, is because that's our soft spot. So definitely a great matchup. I love this matchup. And dude, he's available. If you have someone's hurt, or you're not sure about the matchup, you already have it. Pick this guy up, man. He's going to get you solid numbers, and plug him in. You'll be thanking us later. And he could eventually, as the bye weeks and injuries rack up, man, he could be a guy that helps you win your league, and you'll thank us, the Fantasy A team. All right, so let's get it going. Pick him up off the waiver wire, people. After that, man, I got 2 guys, and Mike Gesicki. Everybody kind of knows he's a really good player. I've known about him for years. It's just down there in Miami, that offense is really questionable here or there, but I believe in Jacoby Brissett, and it looks like Jacoby Brissett really likes Mike Gesicki, and he was 5 for 6 last week, 57 yards and a touchdown. They're playing against Tampa Bay, who's 30th versus the tight end, so it seems like they're almost similar to the Chiefs in the same thing that I just described. So look for Gesicki to set down in the middle and in those zones, pick up some decent yards, and he's a big guy, dude, so he's a red zone target. I know they got a lot of weapons. They got Waddle and some of those other guys down there. But, they put Will Fuller on the IR. He's already somebody that Jacoby Brissett already has chemistry with. So look for him to get about the same again, if not more yards. Maybe he gets 75 yards and 2 touchdowns on 10 targets or 8 targets, because Tampa Bay, they like to run the score up, which means they're going to throw the ball more, so they have to try to stay in the game. So I look for that to be another great matchup, and I love the matchup there.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. He's just going to be at safety net for Jacoby Brissett. He's going to sit down in an open spot. Tampa Bay, they have a weakness, and that is their secondary. They get abused. That's their soft spot, like he was talking about. So
right. So like for us, it's our linebackers. So the guys get a little bit more shortage yards gains. But like what you're saying, they're weaker on their corners and their safety. So with that said, that's how he's going to sneak up. I kind of like what Kelsey likes to do is come up and hook and fake like he's going the short route. The linebacker bites. He comes up over the top and catches it for 15 yards, and then an extra 10 12 yards so yards after catch. So that's I like that matchup or whatever. Some of these other guys, we have a couple more guys. We got Dallas Goedert on here. He was 5 for 5, 56 yards and a touchdown. He's playing Carolina's defense, so they're a little bit tougher versus the tight end, because they're just a solid defense. But Goddard's going to get his numbers, man. He's solid. I really like Jalen Hurts. Him and Goddard seem to have some sort of a little bit of a connection. Jalen Hurts runs around all over the place, and Goddard seems to know, all right, I'm gonna go sit down in this open spot and get, if I'm open, Jalen Hurts has some good vision, so he's finding him and getting him the ball. So it was another good matchup. I love it. I guess last but not least is I put Hunter Henry on here. Him and Mac Jones seem to be having a good chemistry this year. So, we're at a point right now where you're starting to see what people, it's kind of like you're starting to see them for who they are. They've showed their cards enough that we know what to kind of expect. So with that said, they're going against Houston, the 31st versus tight end. So don't look for Hunter Henry to have this repeat like he had last week. He was 4 for 5, 32 yards and a touchdown. It's probably going to be more like 7 for 9 for 70 or 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. I bet you. Bill Belichick is not a dumb guy. He can understand that, that kid he's what do you call it? Mismatch versus different defensive sets. So now that he's healthy, he's going to utilize the double tight end set. That's one of his main things. That's why Gronk and Gonzalez, what was his name? Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Remember when they had? Gonzalez. They had that. I mean, it was amazing.
No, that was Hernandez.
Hernandez. I knew. I was like, what, Gonzalez? Yeah, Hernandez. And that's like, you look at that format from back then when they did that. So many teams utilize it. The Chiefs utilize it. Dude, it's hard to put the right defensive people on the field when you put so many tight ends on there because you're not for sure what they're going to do. It looks like you're going to pull a blocking play, right? But then when these guys are athletes like they are, then all of a sudden you get these big, huge gains because they're behind the defense. Everybody's up in the box. So with that said, that's kind of what I think that game's going to be like there in Houston. They have a problem versus the tight end, and I think Hunter Henry's due to have a big game. And he's definitely an athlete. So, and I didn't see anything on the injury report for him this week. So if he's back to the athlete that he was or is, and I look for him to have more numbers and higher touchdown. So another good matchup. I don't love it, but I like it. I mean, it could potentially have a high ceiling, so that's why we put it on here.
Yeah, I totally agree. No, I believe that's it. I believe we've laid out our top 5 or 6 tight end matchups for this week.
Yeah, we gave you a lot more information than we usually do, man. We want to get you guys watching these videos too, man. We appreciate all the support on all the other videos, man. We try to put as much effort and time into all of them. But we noticed we've been slacking, or at least we've been slacking on the views here on the tight end video. So we're just trying to get it pumped up. So all you people that do watch these videos, man, tell these people, let them know, man. We're giving out gems for people to help win, man. Tight end is it's not as a desirable position for fantasy points, but you can't have a position. It's one of the positions you can't have anyone not perform. So it's nice when we can give you these guys that are kind of maybe even give you that extra 5 or 6 points in your weekly matchups that may mean a difference for you to win. So that's what we're here for. We love doing it. Me and Josh talk football all the time. It's hard to talk anything else when we get on the phone. So, man, we appreciate the love and support. If you like what we're saying, subscribe, like the video, share it to all your people, all your social media, and just keep coming back, and we'll keep helping you guys win, man. Appreciate the love.
Well, guys, there you have it. We've laid out all the information for this week's tight end matchups. Take it, run with it. May your fantasy leagues be blessed. As always, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe. If you have any comments, leave them down below, either on the YouTube or on our Twitter page at Fantasy A Team 1. And remember, friends, don't let friends auto draft.